So I want to take a look at Chamberlain Kark. I'm going to show the build I have. The Atlanta is the user that came up with this. It was sometime in 2019. It was either the August or the October tournament. Let's get the titular card. So Chamberlain Kark here. When he comes in Loyalty X, reveal X number of good cards, gain 2 for each. Okay. But obviously it's the tribute. If your health is twice as high, so if you're at 60 or above, you win the game. This is the only alternate win con that basically exists. I'm going to keep pestering about Arena. Now, this is a 3-color one you can see in the top right-hand corner. I'm going to run through the cards piece by piece, kind of tell you how these things work and why I like this build specifically. If it wants to open. There we go. Angel of Light. So most likely you're going to be getting 10 life off of this. The fact that it's a 5/6 ambusher means it can come down, it can quick block if it has to, it can actually threaten. The fact that it blocks airborne and not airborne, it does almost everything you want. Gaining 10 life off a single card is pretty much what this deck is built around. Obviously there's Chamberlain Kark, 3 ofs on each. Divine Judgment, this is 2. I have a foil and a not foil. I don't know what to say. On your turn, banish all champions. No questions asked. It does include the tokens. It has the draw 2 on there. All of these things are important. Adherence to the Meek. So here's a 3 count. Draw 2 cards. Banish all non-token champions. If it's an opponent's turn, they draw a card. Why this in addition, and you'll see a few others, this is actually one of the more important cards for this build because it has the draw 2. Admittedly, it doesn't get the tokens. A little annoying. But it can be played on the opponent's turn. Inner Peace. Gain 10 life, has recall. So you gain 10 on their turn or your turn. You'll see various times when it gets played. And then it comes back anytime you play a 1 gold good card. So obviously that's going to happen quite a bunch. This thing, not the most important. If you see an Inner Peace show up in the current meta, I almost always assume that it's a Kark deck. Now, you've seen some of my multicolor control decks that do run this, but almost every time I see this, I go, oh, this is probably a Kark deck. I better watch their life total. Marcus Watch Captain. The part here where it says if your opponent forces you to discard this card, it goes into play. That seems, and I mean, this is only the second week of March in 2020. This has come up more often now. I don't know why, it just has. Where you start seeing, I'll bring them up. You have Thought Plucker is becoming more common in the last couple of days, and Knight of Shadow. Now that is one of the goal decks that they say, if you have Knight of Shadow and Smash and Burn, so maybe that's because of that. But I'm seeing these show up more and more, and Marcus does kind of respond to that. They're like, oh, we're going to make you discard a card, value. And you put down 10/10, the loyalty to get you a card. So not only do you have a 10/10 sitting in play that you didn't pay for, it replaces itself. That's nice. Banishing 3 tokens comes up often enough when you see enough demon tokens and whatnot. Martial Law. This is the one I was talking about when I alluded to from Inheritance to the Meek. This can be played on the opponent's turn. They get 4 human tokens. That's more or less doesn't matter. And the other option is to put 5 human tokens in place, so if you want to block, or somewhat threaten. But Inheritance being able to use to be draw 2 is almost infinitely more valuable. Yes, the nice part here about Martial Law is that it hits non-tokens. Sorry, it does hit tokens, rather. So you'll be able to clear out the entire board as long as anything's banishable. Palace Guard, easy one. It's a 1 gold, 6/8, so it can block a decent amount of stuff, comes down, it snipes out a guy. You're just looking to make it to 60 plus life. You don't really care. I have no problem using this on a Thought Plucker. I have no problems using this on a Muse if it looks like they're getting too much advantage. You just want to keep them from being able to steamroll you. Urgent Messenger, 3 count. Puts down 2 humans and you draw 2 cards. For this deck, you put down 2 blockers. That's all it is. Versus wild decks, you want to make sure that you're inside of combat. Usually, I'm using the word usually, when this happens, because you don't want to give them a chance to shoot them before things, before combat. Like, for example, a Pyrosaur. A Pyrosaur deals the combat as it attacks and as it comes into play. So if you wait until after that trigger, this comes down after the trigger, you take 2, your rest of the team takes 2, you can still block them with these new tokens. Bodyguard. Only a 2 count because you really don't want to see this all. One will usually do most of the business. The fact that it's free, ambush, blitz, it recalls, so you put it down, you block, a wolf, you block any of these whatever power, 2 toughness, or you just keep blocking these wild non-breakthrough guys, block a Sea Titan, whatever, and then it comes back. And one of the things with recall on both, where are we? On both bodyguard and inner piece, you stack in the game. I'm gonna try and bring that up. The recalls before the Chamberlain Kark tribute. Before the tribute and before the loyalty, so you can get up to 2 extra, cards back. This one I've not seen in many lists. This is actually one of the main reasons I actually really like this list by Atlanta. It is a free ambush that comes. So I mean, you'll have a 2/5, and you usually end up putting the tribute on itself, but it's a free gain 5. Many times you'll see these lists that are packed to the gills with ambush cards, but they all cost a gold. In some of the races where you have to use your gold in their turn early to sweep the board or do something else, or you just want to use it for one of the other cards coming up, you can still gain 5 for free. And in some tight races, your opponent might be able to keep you in the 50 range, and you just need to break through. 3 count on this because it comes in, it recycles, so it'll get you a card back. Gaining 3 here, gaining 6 off of this. If you get more than 6 off this, this card, the Priestess has definitely done her job. But don't underestimate recycle. You'll notice you didn't see the unicorn, and I'll show you. This list doesn't run enough gold cards, and it has other draw engines where the unicorn is not at its best. Second Wind. The more I play this card, the more I love this card. It's one of the cards that I don't use the term underestimated, but it just does more than you actually think it does. Okay, you gain 5 and it draws a card. Well, in this deck, gaining 5 can buy you an extra turn. It can put you over the top so that you can have a Chamberlain with no cards in hand and just win right then and there. End of the turn, whatever. We'll talk about in another one of our podcast episodes. The fight to not spend your gold before your opponent is a very real battle that I have some videos you'll see, and your free cards are very much utilized here. Apocalypse, very clear. It breaks all champions on your turn. It's another draw 2. Basically you need to be able to break and banish because of Thundaris and stuff like that. I have run into a many tokens list where, let's bring them up. Oh, who is unbanishable? Gladius. I have seen Gladius more than enough times, and you need to be able to take care of him. And so, that's why that's there. Drain Essence. This is one of the reasons to splash. 9 life for 1 card, and obviously you also get to kill something. This is just another inner piece, another Angel of Light. All that you have so many cards that are like gain 10, gain 10, gain 9. It's definitely worthwhile. A free card that can deal 3. Obviously can't go to a player's head, but you're not trying to win with damage. You just want to kill their muse. You want to kill some of their free cards, or even on your turn, they just attacked you with a Juggernaut. You had to deal with it. Comes to your turn, you don't have to spend your gold to handle a Juggernaut. If their only creature is, say, a Juggernaut, you can just shoot it dead and still have your gold left. Corpse Monger. You have Graveyard Hate. You have the ability to gain life. Don't underestimate also eating the bodies out of your yard if they don't have valid targets. As only a 2 count because this isn't your sole plan, and sometimes you'll end up in games where the discard piles just get stripped away so much with all these recycles, amnesias, and everything else. So this is good as a 2 count. Ancient Chant. This card, the more you play it and the more you get used to it, I hate to use the term game defining, but a lot of games do revolve around this card being played, being banished, and so forth. Because when this is banished, you still get the card. Erase, just one of the best cards in the game. Just as if they make a play, you still have your gold open for whatever reason. You send their 1 gold play right back to their hand, draw 2 cards. you bought yourself another turn and 2 cards. And the more cards in hand when Chamberlain goes off, you can gain well above 10 life if you have more than enough cards in hand. Lesson learned, 2 count. Getting to replay one of your events from your discard pile, very important. Now, I want to bring up there's, at this point, it's a known quantity. If you use Lesson Learned on Ancient Chant, you're going to draw the 2, then this card gets banished, you're going to draw the 3. And that's perfectly fine. That's good enough tech. More often than not, you just hold it back. If I drain Essence, yes. If I drain Essence on, say my turn, clear out one of their guys, they come back with some blitzer, and then I'll just go, okay, Lesson Learned, hit that again. I gain 18 over the 2 turns, and I've cleared out some of their team. Reset. You don't mind bouncing everything back. This handles tokens, number 1. Number 2, if you had to play a Chamberlain early for whatever reason, usually you don't, but if you had to, you getting Chamberlain back in your hand is not the worst thing ever. You reloading your entire hand, you don't have a lot of bodies, but say if you have 1 or 2 of these brand, they go back to hand, you get a Priestess, goes back to hand, and then you play your turn all over again, and you go with the Kark. Well, after you had Brand gain you 5, Priestess gains you another 3, plus all the cards that are in your hand, you might be able to win after a reset on an opponent's turn. Single Amnesia, you have enough hate. You're not worried about their crazy plays. You're more worried that they keep you off of your 60 count, so you just want to kind of strip them out. Mirror Match, you want to make sure you take care of their inner peace, stuff like that. You basically want to make sure that you take care of their recalls, because you're in for a little bit of a grind with this. Hasty Retreat, 2 count. Simply put, it's a free card. It's a free card that buys you some time. And then you have, to end it up, you have Vanishing. On your turn, if you have your gold open, you can bounce your own Kark back and then replay it, possibly to win. I've also, many times, you might just draw 2 off that. Same as Hasty Retreat, draw 2 off that. You're just looking to buy time and do stuff with that. So then let's take this thing over and for a spin. Clear this stuff out. Alright, so got a game. This is regular construct, it's not arena. Looking at the opening hand, I got some board clear, I got the Angel of Light, I got Consume, I got a Lesson Learned. Only thing I might pitch is the Lesson Learned. I'll probably end up pitching the Lesson Learned, but everything else looks good. I mean, or I can just use the Lesson Learned as a draw too. It's not the worst. So they pitch 2. I'm going to actually keep this on my turn. What am I going to do? I'm going to draw 2. Pass the opponent. You'll see that this deck is not the hardest to play, but if you want to get really good at it, you have to learn about these pass checks, and there are many times you will just draw for the turn, your gold's intact, their gold's intact, you pass the turn because you don't want to give them the opportunity to play anything on your turn, and you're actually reacting to how they play. This deck definitely does use skill in probably at least 50% of its plays that win. Other times you can just get dumb luck and just go, okay, gain life, gain life, gain life, and they can't muster a really heavy offense. So we get Master Zoe, Ambush. That probably should happen on my turn. They pass it over. What I want to do, I can keep the Vanishing on my turn. I'm going to throw down my Angel of Light. I'm going to show him that I have a Kark and a Divine Judgment, gaining 10. And I'm going to pass back to them, see what they want to do. I assume they're just going to ship it back over because they spent their gold. It's not the worst. I mean, I'm going to assume that they have some sort of a trick in hand. I'm actually... Let's see if we can draw some... Actually, you know what? I can vanish my own guy. Let's be cheeky. I'm actually going to vanish their guy. I'm going to vanish my guy. I'm going to pass the turn over. Make them do something with their gold. They didn't play Master Zoe. Okay, I don't know if that's... They didn't want to give it back to me. Okay, they're playing that on their turn. Okay, fine. Gonna play Angel Light again on their turn. With this deck, I am gonna mention, we might not see it in this play. You do have to be aware of the timer. It's very easy for these games to go to time, and you just need to make sure you pass priority fast enough. So since there are no board clearers, pop this down, show you these two again. Here it is. You can see it just chewing away, waiting for me to, make these passes and everything else. We're up by a minute and a half. I know I talk about that a lot, but sometimes that's really important for what we're trying to do here. Now I'm at 50. I could go up to 53 with the consume. I honestly, I don't feel like I'm going to lose. Ooh, and I have him. Because I can gain 4 off Kark. Consume for 7. I'm just going to pass the turn. Make them make a play on my turn if they're going to. I really don't feel, because I'm going to most likely what I'm going to do is play Brand, gain 5, reset whatever their attack play is, come back to me, and I'm just going to Kark. That's fine. They do the whole thing. So watch this. They spent their gold. It's going to come to me. I'm going to play Brand. So this is almost I couldn't have scripted this better. No offense to the opponent. They just didn't know what they were getting into. That's basically it. I'm going to gain 5. He comes down. I'm going to reset. They can have their card, but they've spent their gold. Comes back to me. Kark for the win on my turn. There's that's really it. And if they pass, which they pretty much should, I just start my turn. Kark win. I'm not going to mess around with them. I'm just going to go Kark win. Just kind of waiting for them to acknowledge that. Oh, they have to discard. Because they have 9 cards in it, because I sent 2 of them back with that reset. Don't get me wrong, that's delicious when they have to discard, but I'm not concerned in the slightest. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, Kark. Also, you saw that it prompted me, make sure you reveal the cards first. So 61, I win. The Kark, you have to love that's called the Kark condition. Let's see if we can get another game here. I managed to get a second game. Very happy with that. Now, I really hope it doesn't come off that I'm disparaging towards the opponent. Let's see now. I got 2 board clears. That's a lot of evil. I'm going to risk it, send the zombie apocalypse away, because that would probably just be used as a draw too. Ugh, you really don't want to see a double Kark this early. So one might have to get played out the block. Starting my turn, what am I going to do? I'm going to pass the turn. Because there's nothing meaningful for me to play. If I... did they send it back to me? I guess they did. I'll send it right back to them. I can gain, 6. That's not going to do much. Are we just playing chicken and seeing who's going to make the first play? So it goes to their turn. They draw their card. And that's where, Brand comes in. That I can gain life without spending my gold. So see, we're playing chicken. Let's shoot him. Because I'll do a battle of the zeros. I will. Show you a second wind, a Kark. I won't let you know that I have a second Kark and that my hand is clogged. So then we pass it back to them. It's still their turn. See what they want to do. Because like I said, we are playing a game of chicken now. We're trying to see who's going to spend their gold and get themselves into trouble first. And there we go. There we go. We got something now. We're going. If I let Brand die, really, I can take the 5. That doesn't bother me at all. But we're dueling banjos. We're absolutely letting the zeros do everything else. Now that I see the Dark Knight and I saw a Blitzy 0, I'm assuming he is an Army of Apocalypse deck. I assume it's Sage Evil, Army of Apocalypse. So I need to find either some Graveyard Hate or some board clear on their turn. Comes back to me. They don't know if I'm a Kark. I'm going to do that. Now, me spending the gold first, not the most intelligent. I can definitely say that. I'm going to pass off to them. They're going to ambush something down or play a draw 2. Maybe see like a frantic digging or something like that. Let's see. Okay, you got me. Turn. They can steal my guy, and they have the Raven. Okay, we got stuff going on. I have one card in the discard. Yeah, I'm gonna take a few points. It happens. They're not gonna overcommit. That's simply it. There's no need to overcommit to this. Battle pass. I'll take the 6. It's not that this is a bad matchup. It's that my hand is really not good for what it is. If you see a Kark in an opener, in theory, you could pitch it away. One of your big deals is that even with 3, for one of my games, it took me almost 10 minutes to see a Kark when I didn't have one in my starting hand, because there is no search. You just have to draw. Now, what we're seeing here, like I said, he's basically putting me on my heels. So, all right, he's going to shoot my guy. Yeah, blah, blah. But I'm going to second wind. Get these 2 out. Get a new card. Gain 5. Ugh. You guys are killing me. Let's see. There's some business. That's fine. Check back. Because if I play a Chamberlain Kark and I show him 3 cards, I can gain 6 life. Yeah, I know. Two's not threatening, but it's something I can do. The other problem is if I play Chamberlain Kark, he does have a turn. He can take my guy on his turn, give it blitz, come swinging in, and not really a fan of that. So I'm just going to. I gotta deal with this stuff. I just do. I'm gonna draw 2. No, I'm gonna check pass him. I'm gonna be smart. Now he drew it out. He's not allowed to have a muse. I'm not letting him outdraw me. That's just not happening. Recycle before he can get my stuff going with the amnesia. I might as well get my own cards. That's perfectly fine. So we know he has a turn in his hand, and what was the other reveal? The turn. Yeah, make sure if you ever need to see those reveals, you can go back into your log. The Raven. There we go. The Raven's going to get back what? His Drain Essence. But he has spent his gold for the turn. I'm going to eat his Raven. Show him those 2. So he knows I still got the Kark. I'm going to eat his Raven. Because I know he has the turn. I'm sure he's trying to draw out one of my big guys and take it. And that's fine. He brought back the Essence Drain, so he can shoot that stuff. I have a draw 2. None of this is pretty. See, the big thing is that because if I play Chamberlain Kark, he can take it, give it blitz, send it right back, undoing all the goodwill that I have. So it actually almost serves it better for me to have my guys dead so he can't steal them. Basically, I'm waiting for him to spend his gold so that I can play my Ancient Chant and get away with that. Or, Urgent Messengers is going to be in response, to him bringing in giant blitzy board and stuff like that. I would love to see some of my Graveyard Eaters, but, don't have that. Pass to opponent. We both still have our gold open. Technically, I'm in a better position at the moment. Yeah, so you just passed it right back over because he has the Essence Drain. He doesn't want to let me use my gold without reaction, and that's why in these games with Kark, your zeros are definitely one of the more battling ones. So here we go. He just stole it outright. Okay. So now I go Ancient Chant, drawing 2. Second Wind, we're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of that. We're doing that because we're leaving Brand in to come back in if he does cast Army of the Apocalypse. But also, I'm getting an extra draw off the Ancient Chant. Oh my god, am I just drawing everything terrible? Well, I know he used that. If he's got the Airborne one that can bring back the spell, he can bring back the spell. I do have a reset. That's okay. Let's actually try to win. I can only gain 8. Oh, I can only gain 8. Can you believe it? I can only gain 8. That won't do it. That won't do it. But I can still make do with a double Kark. Show him I have more Karks. 59. Yep, we did math, right? So that was a very aggressive play, but it's going to make. He knows all but 2 cards in my hand. He knows it's not threatening in the slightest. But I'm at a very high life total right now. He can still make plays. He can fire off an Essence Strain if he likes. All right, well, we have a Muse. Okay. So he's going to dig, try and get a better play out of this, try and find... Yep, I told you. There's the Memory Spirit. There's the turn. He's going to take back my Kark. This is where the Urgent Messengers come in. Actually, no, I'm going to reset. He's going to do all this stuff. I'm going to reset and win. Because he can attack for 10 with flying. That's fine. Actually, 12 with flying. Thought Plucker. What do you want me to discard? I'm going to discard my Ancient Chant. Because either way, I'm playing Reset. Like, that's basically... He paid his gold. I shut him down right now. This literally is the winning turn. He paid his gold. It did not impact what I'm doing. It wasn't direct damage. Here comes the reset. Return everything. Board's gone. That's back. Kark's back in my hand. I have a full pass. Literally anything he does will not stop me. There is nothing he can do to stop me in this in this current existence. So we go Kark. Make sure we select the number of cards first. Done. Here we go. 71. Boom. Kark condition. You saw a little bit of battling. I definitely think if there was an Army of the Apocalypse and that came in, we would have been in some trouble. You did see that you have to be very reserved how many turns I passed with gold open, and I'm just like, I don't want to feed into the fact that he had a turn. Mostly because if I have an open board and I don't have a way to block my own Kark, and Kark's my only creature, he comes swinging for 9. In the one turn, I would have only gained 4, so he actually would have set me back for 5, which that's not good math. So we made it work. Again, I like this version. It seems that it has a lot of board wipes. There are some tricks, but this isn't one of the more intricate ones where I'm playing a lot of one-ofs and stuff like that. Let me try and bring it back to the deck editor real quick. So this, I really like this list. If I have to play a Kark deck, we have so many fast spells, if you want to use that phrasing. Things that either we have the Quartzmonger has Blitz, so he already comes down and deals with stuff. Apocalypse is a slow one because it breaks on your turn only. We have Divine Judgment, which banishes on your turn only, but they are draw 2s. You can feel free to pitch a draw 2, trying to get to your Inheritance or your Zombie Apocalypse. And the big thing on all of those is to wait for them to get into attack. You need to make sure that, they've committed as much as they can. And obviously, it's even better if they use their gold first. And all right, well, I'm just going to answer right back. Provided, of course, they don't have a completely unbreakable team, And we saw that with the Dark Knight. I handled it with a Palace Guard simply because it was unbreakable. It was going to keep annoying me, and I'm like, I hate to use 1 gold to beat a 0, but I put down a 6-8, and he had to handle it on his own stuff. So 2 games. I feel it's pretty good of demonstration. You will see more games separately, but for a DeckTech, I feel like this covered most of what we wanted to do.